Hi, this is Florence from New Zealand Cricut, and I've just finished editing the Black Friday videos. Now, it comes in several parts, and you can just skip through some parts if you want to. The final part of it is the specials in Spotlight, Harvey Norman, and Warehouse Stationery, and it's very interesting to look at those. These are for Black Friday 2024 only, so if you're watching after that, they won't be available. However, the little icon that I used to make the little Christmas ornament will be available because that's in Design Space, and I will put a link up in the comments of where you'll be able to get that. Thank you if you've come to watch this video, and thank you for watching it. And I'll say goodbye and let you watch the video. Right, what I'm going to do today is go through the Cricut Joy. So do you have one? You do? You don't? Oh, okay. I think I can't hear you at the moment, but oh, hang on, we've got two participants now. That's probably me and you. Now, I may not be able to hear you because when it comes on, it's supposed to be, of course, so that I can talk, and boy, can I talk. Right, yeah, my little Cricut Joy is sitting over here. My little Cricut Joy mat is here. And today, what we're going to actually make, so I can show you it, is a little penguin, and he's got a little bauble in him. And I put the little bauble on an elastic band, and I tucked it round behind him. And then what you can do is you can either hang him on the Christmas tree like that. Hang on, I'm under the camera. Right. Or otherwise, you can thread the little bauble and hang them on the Christmas tree like that.
Oh, okay. Nice.
I'll put them down over here so you can actually probably see them. Well, you might be able to see them.
I can see them.
Let me put them that way. You can't really see them from the top, but I don't have cameras that sort of go this way and that way.
Yeah.
So I thought what I'd show you first, and I do have the whole video of me making him, but I thought because of the fact that we're limited on time with people, I will add that to the group later, and I'll edit this video and do things. Now, when I'm putting things on the mat, I've got 176 cardstock to do him in. The reason I've chosen 176 is that it's good to layer, and it's not too heavy once it's all layered.
Right.
So I've chopped this up from A4, which is really good because you can get multiple colours in A4 and 8.5 and letter size, you know, that 8.5 by 11. Now, I've just pressed that on there. If I was sprayering, I would brayer that on.
Yeah.
I've got a soft squeegee thing, which I like to also put on there like that. And that way, I've got the paper stuck well to the mat. Now, drop him down. Now, there's two little lugs in here. Now, this is for the people who watch it afterwards that don't know about the machine. So there's two little lugs, and once I put this in, it will pick it up. However, in order to do that, I've now got to come back to the share my screen part. Now, I can tell you what I've done here. What I have actually done is I've imported this little penguin from Design Space. He's in Design Space, and I will put a link to him in the group. Now, so that you know what I've done, I've zipped this backwards, and I will zip it forwards. Now, he's 10.28 inches long from the top to the bottom down under here. Now, if I put him on the short mat, he's not going to work. And I only wanted to use my short mat because I can't find my long one. Now, so what I did is I split him up, and then I got a little square. I put the square across and I sliced them out. Now, you'll notice now that slicing you can do down here, and when you come up with the slice, it tells you what your keyboard shortcut is and also what it does. So that's really handy. So now I'm going to take them apart, and I've taken that bit off because I don't want that one. Now I've separated these two bits, and then you'll notice that I'm going to duplicate this piece. Now, you notice the little dot that was missing? If I go back, you can see that what I did there was I went into the contour and I took out this little dot at the bottom. So there we are, he's gone. And then I duplicated him because I needed him twice as long. So there he is duplicated, and then I flipped him upside down. That's how he's going to go back together. Now, this is because the Cricut Joy, the way we do the scoring lines on a Cricut Joy, or the way I do them, is I've got a foil tool, and I changed the scoring lines to foil. And what that means is that I can put it in the Joy without the foil and just have it score on the cardstock if I want to. Now, we'll keep going along here, and you'll notice that I liked this one. I wasn't so keen on that one. So if we go back, and then we can go forward, and then you'll find that what I did with this one is I've deleted this one. Hang on, we're in the wrong place here. And now I've deleted that one. I've taken this one again into contour, and I've taken the eyes out because, surprisingly enough, even penguins don't have eyes in the back of their heads. Now, I've got a little bar up here that's in the way. There we go. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through, and I'm just going to cut one of these. I've got the video of cutting all of them, but I think that that's like watching grandmother suck eggs. And so I'm going to go to make. Now, make sure you've got your Cricut Joy selected. Otherwise, you get to the cut screen and it goes to the machine that's either the default machine, which is the Explore. Yep, Explore. Or it goes to one of my other machines. So I have to make sure that I've got them there. The other thing is that when you redo everything or log in again, it will also frequently go to another machine. Now, this is the little one that I want to cut, and I'm just going to go through this cut. I'm going to go through this cut for several reasons, and that is, number one, I want to show you how I've done certain things. Now, I'm working on paper, and it's medium cardstock. It's actually a bit lighter than medium cardstock, but what I found was medium cardstock with more pressure was what I wanted to make a nice cut. Now, I've been cutting a huge amount in the last month, 6 weeks, and one of the things I've noticed is that sometimes, although it doesn't match the settings, the cardstock cuts better on a more setting or a less setting or a setting. I've specifically put in a setting myself of light cardstock cutting twice. Right, now you can see I've got my little Joy mat here with its cover on, and I'm going to take the cover off and put it over to one side, and I can see that I've got a little bit of stuff on my mat here. Now the thing that I'm going to do first is that I'm going to cut the base grey one. So I can't show you picture in picture, so I've cut my materials, which is a 176 cardstock, and I've cut it down, and I'm going to pop it in my Cricut Joy. Now the reason I'm showing you how I put it in my Cricut Joy is because the Cricut Joy pulls the mat in, so I have to click go, and so I'm going to have to put this off to the side, and I've picked my medium cardstock. I've got that, it's flashing, and so I'm going to put this under here, and as you can see, it pulled that in. It measured the mat, and then it's out again. Now on the screen I've got to go, and I'm just going to push go, and hopefully my little Cricut Joy is going to say, yes, I'm going. And you can see that you can't really see it cutting because of the angle of the camera. But what I'm going to do is, now it's cut, I'm going to lift it up to see whether it cut right through, and it did. So I'm just going to go unload and take it out. Now, what we do when we take our materials off the mat is we lift our mat backwards like that, and it should come out nicely, and it does. It's a little bit sticky there. I might need just a little bit more pressure. So what I'm going to do is, on my next mat, I'm going to put more pressure on it. Now I can do that just by clicking on the more pressure. Now the second mat that I've got is another one of the, let's just check and make sure I've got the grey, not the white. Yes, I've got the grey. They're very similar in colour, however they're not quite the same. So again, I'm going to slide this in, and make sure you get it under the little lugs, and as you slide it in, the sensor picks it up, and then on the screen it'll tell you go. Now you saw I just pressed that down onto the mat with my hand. If you have a brayer, it's really good to brayer it down onto the mat because that helps it stay there. Again, I'm going to lift this up, and you can see this time it has come out just that little bit cleaner cut, so that I can just literally lift that off and pop that into my recycle basket. And again, I'm going to have this little piece, and the little middle tip pops out, and I shall put that with the other little piece that I'm going to pop out of there. Now I'm going to put that on the bottom of my computer so that I don't lose it. Now our next mat is white, so I'm going to put my white paper on. I've cut my paper down to size, and as you can see, I'm just I've got a nice sticky mat, so I'm just pressing it down. Most people will do vinyls and other things. I like to do paper, so the paper is my favourite, although I must admit I do love doing vinyl as well. Now I'm just going to do a cut. You'll see me cut all through this on this. Hopefully I'll be able to put this in and speed it up so that it will be faster to watch, but I'm not sure of that, and I will just carry on doing this at the same thing. Now I shall go unload that. Now, although it was a different paper, I'm just having a look to see, and I only have one of those, so I don't need much. Again, I'll just flip it over and just take it off the mat. It just means that your paper comes off and it's not curled. If you take your paper from the mat instead of the mat from the paper, it tends to curl a little. Paper has memory, and so you'll find that the paper will remain in that curve. Now that's a great thing if you're wanting it to curve, like if you're doing flowers. If you're not and you want it straight, then it's not such a great thing. Now you'll probably be able to see that that is not exactly even across there. However, I think I've probably got enough on there to cut the black in line. Again, I'm lining it up so that it goes in nicely. It tells me it's loading. I do love my little Joy. And then this machine is just absolutely amazing for teenagers. Actually, it's amazing for all ages, but teenagers just absolutely love it. From the age of about 10, they love it. And they can do so much. They can do so much with paper, they can do so much with vinyl, whether they name things, and all sorts of things. And you can buy paper packs at Spotlight, Warehouse Stationery. I don't think Harvey Norman has paper packs. However, they do have the Cricut Joy bundle at the moment, which I will be showing you, and we will have a look and see what the price of that is this week. It will be an absolutely excellent price because of Black Friday, and they do have a Black Friday bundle on the Cricut Joy. Now, as I said, the Cricut Joy is an amazing little machine. It doesn't take up much room. You can see that I've got my laptop up. I've also got my Cricut Joy, and I've just cut the paper and I'm putting it into my Cricut Joy right in front of me. It's one of those things that you can do labels, you can have it on your kitchen bench, you can just pop it back in the drawer when you don't need it, and it is all there ready for you. Now, if the kids need a card to go to the teacher, or a friend that's having a birthday and they've forgotten till the last minute, then you can whip out this. You can put the pre-made cards onto a card mat and you can do your cards as well, just as quickly. Now, the Cricut Joy cuts a huge number of materials, not as many as the bigger machines, but then it certainly cuts cardstock, it cuts vinyl, it cuts infusible ink, and many others. So it's too many to name, but if you go into view all materials, it will tell you all the different materials that the little Cricut Joy can cut. Now, I think this machine was very aptly named as the Cricut Joy because it is an absolute joy to use. Now, you can see now we're going to go to pink, and I did cut quite a bit of pink. I cut the long piece, and that's because I'm forever doing these little things for the Christmas tree and various other things, and it makes it easy to have a piece that I've got in my scrap basket, because once you start doing these you tend to have little scraps, and of course the Cricut Joy is the absolute joy to use up all your little scraps. Now these I think are the little cheek pieces, and you can see that they're going to cut very quickly. There we go, and we've got, let's have a look. I'm going to lift this up from the bottom this time, and then we've got two pieces which I'm going to just lift off with my fingernails, and then I've got to be very careful doing those because these two pieces here are their cheeks, and I want to keep those where I can find them. Now I've got one little piece like this, and I only need to cut his beak this time, so I'm going to pop him on there. He's gone through to the next screen. Whoops. Keep my fingers out of the way. You're not supposed to do that, and know them as well. They can get a little bit pinched if you get them caught under the rollers, and it's not good for the machine. So now this is our last little bit, and then I'm going to put them together for you and show you just how I do that. Now I would definitely, oh my goodness, it's finished. I would definitely recommend you get a couple of extra mats, and there is a long 12-inch mat you can get, and there's also comes I think with the shorter mat, and then it you've got the smart materials that also work with the Cricut Joy, and they're vinyls, and they're also labels which you can use with the Cricut Joy, and you can sit your Cricut Joy on the bench and you can label all the things in your cupboard, which makes it really great. Now I'm going to pick done for that because we've cut them all, and as you'll see the machine now stops flashing, and I can just put it over there to one side, and I will show you how I put this little person together. Now here's my little baubles. They are called Jolly and Joy. They were from Spotlight, and you'll see that one has a negative side and one's a positive side, and they, if I've got them right, they snap together, and you can put something inside of here, and I will do that very shortly. So I'll just put that there, and I will show you how I'm going to put them together. He's very easy to put together. We've got the base piece here, and first thing we're going to do is I'm going to get my glue, and I have a it's from My Sweet Petunia, and it's called a glue press. Now they can be obtained in New Zealand. going to now have my glue and put it up here. Sadly, places like Spotlight and Harvey Norman don't have this. It's only one place in Auckland, I think, that's got it, and it's Crafter's Cart. So I'm going to just glue this together. Doesn't need a lot of glue, which is the reason I'm using my glue press. Goes down into there. Now, if I had a brayer, that would be really great, and I somehow or other have managed to misplace my brayer, so I'm just going to use that one. Now, that one goes on top of there. This one, they're all really easy to line up, simply because they've got the circle in the middle. And you'll see how cute these are to put on the Christmas tree. You can even put the kids' names on them, or put people's names on them, and that makes them a great little thing to do. Now, I've got to remember to do this the right way round, so I've got to put the circle at the bottom and line up the circle and line up his eyes. And there's his eyes in the right place. And I'm just going to press him around with my hand. And then we're going to get the other side. And again, we're going to glue the back of him. And I'm just gluing him here. Now, I could have also done this with some vinyl. I could have had the little piece at the back, and then I could have used the different colours in vinyl to make the layers. That makes them just as easily done. You just don't have to use the glue, which makes it even better, because the vinyl, of course, has the adhesive on the back of it, so we can put that there. Now, I've got the front and the back done. Now, I think I'm going to have to find a little pair of tweezers to help me out here. And here's my little pair of tweezers. You know, I've got my little Cricut tweezers. Now, this is the little beak, and he's got a little bit of a tweak in there, and I'm going to take that off. There we go. And I'm going to just put a little piece of glue in there. And then I'm going to pop that one in there. Now, you can see that he fits nicely in there. Now we've got the pieces that go in for his cheeks. And I'm just going to put a tiny little bit of glue on there, and come here, you. Now, the last little piece that we're going to glue is the penguin, and the inside of the penguin goes to the inside of the penguin. So we go there. Now, because I didn't have enough room on my mat because I didn't use the long one, I used the little short one that came with it. I am going to glue this together because I cut it apart in the first place. Now, this makes it very, very easy to also not have to have a scoring line, because the Joy, I won't say it doesn't score, it doesn't have a scoring tool. So what I tend to use is I have the Joy foil tool, and with the Joy foil tool I use the Joy foil tool and I change the scoring lines to foil, or I change them to pen and I use an empty blank pen. Now, I tend to use the foil tool because that tends to make it easy, and I know that at that point I'm actually doing what I'm supposed to do. Now, what you can see here is I'm going to bend that up, and again going to use my finger, but I'll use the bone folder there to get that, and I'm going to do that again on this side and make sure it's well stuck down. Turn them over and stick them down again that side. Now, there he is. He didn't take very long, and he stands up like that. Now, I haven't got anything in this at the moment. However, I could stick some jelly beans in it, or I could stick some little lollies in it, and whatever I put in it, let's line up the top pieces, and I'll show you that once that's in there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put them inside the penguin by there, and I'm just going to pop a bit of glue on the top like that, and before I do anything else I will thread him with some, well, I was going to thread him with some twine, and there he is to hang on the Christmas tree. And that is just a little Christmas bauble that you can hang on the Christmas tree. And I'm going to put a name across here in vinyl, which I will do very shortly. And because I have that on my screen, I will go back and do it on my screen. Now, I was actually going to cut something on the Cricut Joy in vinyl, in the smart vinyl, and I couldn't get my Cricut Joy to connect to my computer with Bluetooth. However, it doesn't like trying to do two things at once. I was already connected to my Cricut Joy on another screen, so it didn't want to do it twice. So this time I'm going to see whether I can do it again. So I'm going to look at the screen and I'm going to choose, that's right, the smart removable vinyl. Right, and once I've picked the smart removable vinyl, I'm going to put it on more pressure, and then I'm going to bring this back out and I'm going to slide it in again. Material, and this is my smart vinyl, and it's finally working. Right, now we're going to press go. Don't like the way that it jumps up there, but it still seems to cut all right. Now, it's asking me to unload the mat now. I'm going to unload the mat and I shall put that up there. Now, the thing that I did this time is I've put that over there, and let me just see what I've got up here. And sorry, I'm bringing that back up. Now, one of the things that I was doing with the smart vinyl was I was bringing it back. I've cut my second name on the side, and I'm going to use my Stay Sharp knife. These are wonderful things. They're fabulous for weeding. They're fabulous for all sorts of things. And just don't drop them on your feet or anything. Now, you can see that it is really easy to weed. I'm just going to make sure that the pieces that are supposed to be sticking down are going to stick down. And of course, this is a Y that I'm doing here. So I need to lift these up. Now, what I'm going to do there is I'm going to take this little piece and I'm going to attach it to there and leave it down there. That way I can stick something a bit heavier on it, and hopefully it's going to stay there. Now I'm able to weed out these pieces. Yay! And I shall just take that off the side. There. Now, there's probably a tiniest bit in there, but because it's so tiny, I'm not going to worry too much about it, and it may stay on the thing. Now, I'm going to put the name under there like so. Now, it is much better if you can actually burnish this from the underside, and now that I've got that, I can probably take that piece off. So I'm just going to find my scissors. And that means that I've got to find them under here. And I'm just going to trim along here now. Right. Now, I'm not going to waste that. I'm going to put it back on upside down so that I can do it again. Now, because I've trimmed that off now, I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to burnish it from this side. Now, I'm burnishing it from the underneath, and that's so when you burnish things like that, you burnish them to get them to stick down, and they stick down onto things. So I'm now going to see whether this comes up, and you can see that this is going to need a little bit of help, but once it's on there, it's doing fine. And I've now got that off. I can pop that over to one side, and my second little penguin is going to have Tyler's name on it. So I'm now pushing that down onto there. Now, in order to remove the tape, you bring it back at 180 degrees like that. And that was the same little piece of transfer tape as I used earlier. And now we can put our little trinkets in there. I seem to have lost my little string. And there is the second one. I don't know. Oh, yes, now you can see it's got Tyler's name on. Okay, right. And then we'll go back. Hi, and you can see I'm in Warehouse Stationery on my phone, and I am just looking at the Cricut Joy bundle for 2024. Now, as you can see, it's $3.29. Let's just go back to see what it was before. It was $3.88 just for the machine, and now we've got the Cricut bundle at $3.29. Now, I'm going to have a look at this and see what comes in it. It comes with the Cricut Joy machine, and you can see it's all there. The Cricut Joy machine does go on your phone if you want to use it from your phone. Now, you've got 4 interest-free payments of $82.25 if you've got Zip. And we're going to have a look at the product description, and it tells us all about the Cricut Joy, and then it's going to go features and benefits. Now, this bundle includes the Cricut Joy, plus a variety of essential tools and materials to make something unique right away. Weighing in at only 1.75 kilos, which it means I can lift it with one hand, this smart little cutting machine and writing machine makes it easy to personalise almost anything. Make custom vinyl decals, labels, cards and more. Cuts 50 plus materials including iron-on, cardstock, vinyl, paper and smart materials. Super easy, super long cuts. Draws any shape, writes a variety of styles, cuts individual shapes up to 1.2 metres long, or makes repeated cuts up to 6 metres long. Bluetooth wireless technology in Design Space is the software for it, and you can use it with iOS or Android, Windows and Mac. It comes with a little toolkit. It comes with a mat. It comes with your insert cards, so it must come with it comes with the Joy card mat. It comes with a vinyl, smart vinyl, and it comes with your transfer tape. Now, that is all set for you to start making cards. Now, let's have a look and see whether this set... Oh, here we are. It says Smart Cutting Machine, Sticker Tool Set. No, Starter Tool Set. Insert Card, Rainbow... I can't quite read that, but it's the sampler one. And it's got a card mat. It's got the Smart Series vinyl. And it's got transfer tape. It's got a welcome card. And it's got a something adapter. Oh, it's got your power adapter, of course. And all you need is, in addition to this, is your phone or a computer or something to work the Design Space app that runs it. Now, that's an amazing value for $3.29, and I hope that you whiz in and have a look at that one. Let's have a look and see what the bundle is at Spotlight. I'm
sort of assuming that this is going to be the same, but you just never know. There's your Cricut. Let's go on Cricut. We'll push continue. And there's the little Cricut Joy. Let's see if they've got a Joy bundle for $3.28. And it's the same bundle. And it's $3.28. So you're going to be putting them off against each other. I think the other one was $3.29. Now this is your insert cards and the same things. I would suggest if you're going to do some paper, you get the Cricut Joy mat. Oh, it says it's low in stock already, so get your fingers walking and put that little Cricut mat and the little Cricut Joy into your basket. And our price for the Cricut Joy is $3.28 again. So we've got the Cricut Joy bundle in Harvey Norman's at $3.28. Now I don't know whether they're offering anything extra for that. It's the machine itself is $2.48. And that's a huge deal. Yes, I'll agree with that. That is a huge deal. At $3.28, you've got the Joy bundle. And with the bundle, you've got the toolkit, the cards, the card mat, and the vinyl and the transfer tape. So it depends on whether you want to start up straight away or whether you want to buy those things individually. And if you want to buy them individually or you've already got them, you might prefer to go to just the Cricut Joy. But if it's there, you might as well just go in and get it. It is an absolutely fantastic deal at the moment. And you can see that it's a wonderful thing to have.